Hey guys, so yesterday my husband went and picked up my things from the office. And the office that I'm talking about, if you guys are new to my channel, is the clinic that I was working at as a medical assistant in pediatrics. And thankfully, I got everything back that was mine. I had recently made a video where I was concerned that I wasn't going to get everything back that belonged to me and that I had bought for the office. Um, but thankfully, I was able to get everything back. Um, I am just very relieved to be done with this whole situation. I was very stressed out, and I kind of talked to my physical therapist about this yesterday. I feel like I just had too much stress dealing with the pediatrician and being kind of by myself, having to give multiple shots, like having to give 4 shots to a baby or a toddler, and being the only person over there who can give shots was very stressful to me, especially coming from a type of situation where um, I had teamwork. I had other people who could help me give the shots so that we could do, two at a time and be done much quicker. And it was just a situation where I felt like I should not have been over there completely by myself, and I should have had access to people who could help me if I needed help. And, there were locked doors in between the other part of the clinic and the part of the clinic that I was working in. So it's not like I could just, walk to the nurse's station at the other part of the clinic or in the other part of the clinic and ask for help. Um, so I put a lot of stress on myself trying to deal with this situation, as well as trying to deal with the pediatrician who he was nice, but he was very particular about everything. And I felt like whatever I did was not ever good enough for him. And I would try doing things the way that he suggested and, showing him that I was doing things the way that he suggested, and it still wasn't good enough for him. And so I felt like, no matter what I did, it was never good enough. And so I put that stress, that mental stress on myself, like trying to fix everything that I was doing to fit into how he wanted me to do it. And like I've worked pediatrics before, um, not on a full-time basis, but I have worked pediatrics before, and I have done countless measurements of children, babies, you know, um, newborns, all of that stuff. And like I said, no matter what I did with this particular pediatrician, it was like nothing was ever good enough. And I really enjoyed working with the patients and their parents, but no matter what I did, it was never good enough. And it was super cute seeing the same patients come in, because when you're working in a pediatrician's office, they come in on a regular basis for checkups and things like that. Seeing the same patients come in for sick visits. Obviously, you don't want to see kids coming in sick, but getting to know the patients. And even though I only worked there for a month, I was getting to know certain patients who had to come in on a more regular basis for different health conditions. Um, and I think being able to interact with the patients and their parents was something that I truly loved. And I didn't mind working pediatrics at all. Some people don't like giving shots to kids. Um, I don't necessarily like giving shots to kids, but it's not something that I'm against. I'm not against immunizations or anything like that. I feel like it should be the decision of the parents, but I'm not against giving vaccinations if that is what the parent wants to do. I'm not going to sit there and talk negatively about immunizations because, again, I feel like that should be the decision of the parent. Um, so, it is what it is. But I'm just very thankful that that chapter of my life is over with. And now I need to focus on everything else that's going on in my life. And, it's just, there's a lot going on. And I need to focus on trying to better my life, trying to better my health, and trying to figure out, where do I go from here? So I am going to start back to college in the fall in September. Um, So there's that. I need more time to focus on my health and focus on bettering myself before I go back to working full time out of the house. I have looked at different remote work options. I have looked at different work from home jobs that allow you to basically self schedule or make your own schedule, things that are more flexible. And I may look into, staying home permanently and trying to get on disability and things like that, because I do have functional neurological disorder, which does cause a lot of disabling symptoms for me. And, I am able to go certain lengths of time with working through my symptoms, but at the end of the day, there was so much stress put on my body that I ended up, having these stroke like symptoms, and obviously ending up having to quit my full-time job because of these symptoms. And I just feel like I need more time to try to work through these symptoms and come out better on the other side. So this is not what I had hoped, like I've talked about in previous videos talking about this job. um, I wish that I could have continued to work there and um, all of that stuff, but obviously things happen for a reason. And I am going to continue on with life with the hope that um, something good will happen for me, and what is supposed to happen in my life will happen. So, with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Hopefully, you guys understood what I was talking about. If there's any topics you would like me to discuss on my channel in the future, let me know, and I will talk to you guys in tomorrow's video.